The man was buried alive by a mudslide, so he rolled down the car window and reached out to test the thickness of the mud. But suddenly a large amount of thick mud rushed into the car. He hurriedly rolled up the window in panic, but before he could catch his breath, the sunroof suddenly shattered. He fumbled to grab some tape and tried to seal the cracked glass, but the tape couldn't handle the pressure of the mud. With the mud almost completely burying him, the man suddenly noticed a steering wheel lock under the seat. A light bulb went off in his head. He quickly pulled the lock out and wedged it at an angle to block the sunroof. Surprisingly, the lock really stopped the sinking mud. Only then did the man relax and let out a long sigh. He grabbed a bottle of water and started drinking it in large gulps until the water ran out, and he realized he had drunk all the life-saving water. After that, he gathered everything useful in the car and tried to pick out tools that could help him survive. But nothing seemed useful. Just then, water started dripping through the sunroof into the car. The man rushed over to where the water was leaking, put his mouth near it, and began sucking frantically. It felt way too slow, so he took out his wallet and pulled out a bank card, folded it into a funnel shape, then inserted it into a plastic bottle and wedged it into the lock mechanism. The water quickly filled the bottle, solving his drinking problem. He urinated into the storage compartment as a backup, but not long after, he started to feel short of breath. The oxygen in the car was running out. If he didn't do something soon, he would suffocate. So he took out a folded chair, pulled out a hollow steel pipe. Then he removed the bottle cap and used his nail clipper to drill a small hole in the cap. Finally, he stuffed some twine into the steel pipe, sealing the cap over the pipe. After all that, the man couldn't help but admire his own cleverness. He put on gloves, straightened the wire, and used it to drill a small hole in the sunroof. Then he held the steel pipe tightly and pushed it upward through the small hole. But the mud was packed tightly, and the thickness was far beyond his imagination. The 1.8-meter long steel pipe didn't even reach the ground. The man began to panic. He quickly took the second steel pipe and repeated the process, slowly pushing it up. Only when the entire steel pipe was in did he realize in despair that 2 steel pipes weren't enough. Breathing became even harder. The man was scared. With no time to think, he tore apart the last steel pipe and used all his strength to push it up. But this time the steel pipe seemed to be blocked by something. No matter how hard he tried, it wouldn't move. The man let out a desperate scream. Frantically, he took out the car jack and tried to use it to push the steel pipe up. But soon the jack reached its limit, and the steel pipe still hadn't broken through the mud. So the man placed a towel on his shoulder, used his body to brace against the steel pipe, and pushed with all his might. Suddenly, he felt his shoulder loosen. The steel pipe shot out of the mud. He hurriedly inserted the wire into the steel pipe and pried the bottle cap open. Then he leaned forward and looked through the pipe. When he saw the faint light from the pipe opening, the man excitedly yelled out,